But at the top, I know there's a lot here. We don't have to go through everything, but I was just thinking about what would be logical things we could do. I want to make a list. I'm reading the first checkbox. I want to make a list, and this is under the ContentFries toggle. I want to make a list of all the different roles or parts that could be batch done in ContentFries. Then if people sign up for the parts they enjoy most. Thanks, Cameron. Remember when we went through the members area on, what's his name, Armin's thing? And then we were like, hey, what do people like about these portions? What are people's favorite parts? That's what I want to basically do. Shanicia was saying there's some things she likes to do and there's some things she doesn't like to do. Cameron has things he likes and others don't. So, I mean, there's different people who are somewhat interested in the parts. And we are a team, so I think there's enough regarding ContentFries where it doesn't have to be one person does everything. But I think that the more that we can find things that are enjoyable that we do like, that would be good. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I actually made a list of some of the things that are here. And the list we have like identifying quotables in our content. What was that?
I said, ooh.
Basically, Kamran, could you explain what the process is, taking a long-form potato and like cutting that, or just in brief, like 2 minutes or less?
I could probably do it in 1 minute or less.
Go for it.
Maybe 30 seconds or less.
I don't know if that will give enough context.
Alright.
We need to paint a picture for us of what this looks like.
The process of what?
Taking a long-form video. Actually, could you open on your screen and then show us what that looks like? That would probably be even better for us.
I guess. I haven't gone through the whole process yet.
You don't need the whole process, just the part that you know. Especially relating to, like, from the beginning, but ending about somewhere around the transcript and how that functions. It's not really working?
No.
Okay, well, well, you could just describe it to us. Oh, it's working for Shanicia.
What?
Yep. Maybe a different browser.
Different browser.
Or you could just explain it, because this is not a major point. Could you explain what the process is?
The process. You upload a big video, and then you take it through the trimmer. And with the trimmer, once you're in there, and the video is transcribed, you can use the transcription, highlight things that you can make fries out of, or you can save quotables there too, and you can edit the transcript, which edits the captions. Or wait, does it edit the captions? You can edit the transcript.
Are you saying that the majority of the editing actually comes from looking at the transcript? Based on what you currently understand?
Well, if you want to do that, or you could use like the timeline thing.
Timeline is a common way that videos are edited, but
Yes.
the neat artificial intelligence unique way that ContentFries uses is a transcript, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then so you basically you're reading a transcript
You get transcript.
and you find a paragraph that you like and you highlight the paragraph and then say like create fry or something.
Something like that, yeah. And then you can edit that. So It seems like there might be two different transcripts that you can edit. The main transcript, and then once you create a file, you can edit that transcript too.
The captions that actually show up on the video, like for a meme video.
That's probably what they're used for.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it's for.
And you can select which platforms you want it to be made for or something.
Okay. So from the transcripts, we can gather, we can identify quotables. From the transcript, we could identify microblogs.
That makes it easier.
A lot easier,
you can
right?
even create a blog with the transcript.
We can literally create like a Gary Vee blog, just put in those 3-minute reads, 5-minute reads from a video. And ContentFries will, with the click of a button, allow you to publish to WordPress, our WordPress blog. So that's pretty cool.
Do you have that?
Have what?
A WordPress
Yes.
blog? Oh, interesting.
You're asking if the Army of Youth has a blog on WordPress? That's what all the Bible readings are on.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it would just be a different type of format of blog. That's a Bible reading format. And this would be like, it could be like a blog, microblog.
Okay.
So what I want to do at this point is thank you, Carmen, that's helpful. What happens, you guys know what happens when you like, highlight, let's say there's a sentence we're like, ooh, that's a powerful sentence. You highlight it on the transcript, and then there's two buttons that pop up. One of them is like save to a quotable list, where you can literally just capture all your quotables, and it's just a massive database of quotables, and then it keeps track of those. There's a section where you can click on generate quote cards, and when you open it, it has like your list of however many quotables that you saved. Then you're able to just like say, I want to generate 50, and they'll automatically put backgrounds with fancy fonts and your branding and the quotables from your list. It'll automatically generate it like that.
That's cool.
And you can upload your own, like 30 of your own video photos there, and they'll use those as backgrounds if you want. We could probably use some of them that what's her face took. What's your name? Candace.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
We can upload some that Candace took and then use them as quotables. We could generate 50 with one click of a button. Is that amazing or what?
It's cool.
So that would
A lot
be
of time.
like Instagram and Twitter, Facebook stuff. Yeah, it saves a lot of time. So that's what's going down there. I'd like to know if you could if you could look at this could-do list, would you be willing to put your name on the areas that seem of interest to you?
Can do that. Seems cool.
And if you want to know more about what something entails, that's fine too. And
Wait.
Zell, since you like copywriting things and you want to get better at like capture people's attention and speaking their language, I was thinking something that you might be interested in is crafting compelling headlines for the content. So we had a guy doing ContentFries, Giselle's brother, and he did not know how to do headlines, so his headlines were junk, but his videos were great. And it goes along with the copywriting database and like looking for patterns and great copy and seeing and collecting. That's something I want to do, is help collect. Who just marked that off?
Just mark what up.
The one I was talking about, creating compelling headlines for content.
Maybe I did by accident. I don't know. That was down here though.
Okay.
I have a question.
What's your question?
So for number one, where it says identifying quotables in a content, and then it says wordsmith quotables. What does that entail?
Great question.
Wordsmithing.
So identifying the quotables is just reading the transcript, highlighting a sentence, and clicking save quotable for later in the list. So that's that step. That could be something all of us could essentially do, or whoever's looking at the transcript could do that.
Okay.
But before, we've had people who just like focus on doing that portion. And then wordsmithing is when you actually go to the quotable section and you pull up that list, when you access the archive of quotables, wordsmithing is like crafting it in a quotable structure, which we have a list that has structures of quotables, and it's, if you want to learn, the people who would do great with wordsmithing quotables and proof text are people who want to learn how to speak in very concise, compelling ways, speak in sound bites, who want to develop that skill of speaking very succinctly. That's the wordsmithing. It's taking a sentence and really wordsmithing to be a soundbite. And we've got a database. Like when I did this part, I got really good at speaking in soundbites and quotables. And then proof text is just like, where do we see the principle in the scriptures? That's what we could look at, identifying. We want to share Bible verses with the things we share.
And so so several people can put their names on the same thing?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Because I'll be interested in doing that. Proof text might be a challenge, but I'm up for it if I get help.
Okay.
So I put my name on both of those, or just at the top?
Yeah, they're two different ones. They're connected, but they're different.
Cool.
And they're in different portions of the program.
I'll have to do that.
And just because we choose something doesn't mean we're going to be stuck with that. They're just going to be some of them that we're looking at.
Sounds good. And what was the fry boxes again? That's putting like the emoji stuff and the headlines on it? Is that what you said?
I think so. That's like the template. I think that's what the fry boxes are called, yeah.
I want to chop something up.
That doesn't involve chopping anything up. Creating fry boxes. Creating meme videos, creating 1-minute videos, those involve chopping things up.
Where's the distinction? Wait.
Where's the distinction? What?
Identifying quotables. Oh, you got it. The meme videos and the portrait videos. All those are done at the same time. You got it.
Yeah, if we're missing anything, that works too. Whoa!
I can do. Oh, that's a part of the same system. Never mind.
What is?
She disappeared. Where it says keep track of the content pieces by uploading them to Notion.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
So we'll put your name on there.
That was, I guess that would be similar to what I was doing when I was scheduling the videos and things.
Very
and
similar.
podcasts.
Yeah.
Just go through that, as I do it, just go through the process.
I thought you would like that. And Denzel, I made a list. I categorized the ones that are dealing with copywriting and persuasion.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. Okay. That's what we're looking at so far.
You didn't complete this statement right here.
Which one?
Where it says discussion. Oh, that's for discussion subjects. The last one. Where it says if we had a micro content calendar.
You're right, I
Way
probably
at the
didn't.
bottom.
Cameron, did you put your name on anything?
Yeah.
You should
Control
have
F,
a calendar.
Cameron. Oh, creating microblogs from transcriptions. Is that the only thing that you're interested in helping with? Is there anyone else interested in wordsmithing quotables? Or learning how to speak in sound bites?
I think I can speak succinct or concisely enough.
Okay. Are they like in catchy, compelling stuff?
You feel good with that and stuff?
Yeah, catchy, compelling statements.
What do you think?
I think you can when you put your mind to it. So you're having fun with words. That may be a good indication that you'd be a good fit for that.
But if somebody else can develop.
We don't necessarily want a bunch of just developing people working on stuff. We want people to be working where their gifts are and where they're strong and they can do a lot in a little time versus someone who can do a little in a lot of time.
Well, in that case.
But if you're interested in helping with videos at any capacity, that's probably an area where if you want to explore or develop something that could be greatly appreciated.
If I can do the wordsmithing by myself, that's fine.
Okay. That's neat. Good to know. So I'm thinking maybe you could help wordsmith stuff that other people are struggling with.
Okay.
If they find it more difficult, you could do those. Okay, so if we're looking at this, then we basically have an idea of what we would be looking at or what we would be setting out to do. Denzel, were you able to read all the copywriting options?
Yeah, I read the whole thing.
Okay. Alright. Then
I may be able to do, or I may do fry boxes.
okay.
Boxes.
That would be helpful. I think we should play around with a few of them and really model what successful micro content looks like. What's nice is we just do it once. We got some variety.
What's the 1 minute portrait videos? Is that like a reel or something?
Yeah, reels.
That's pretty much the same process as the other thing.
They are the same process.
Video.
Yep. They're just different types of content.
Yeah.
But it is the same process for sure.
Well, if nobody else is there, I can do that, but it seems kind of pointless to separate them.
You can do the other one too if you want.
Well, it's not either or. It's just having multiple people who know how to do things is important. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your help.
Yeah, absolutely. Likewise. The Navy SEAL, they train each person to know how to use each of the different parts of their squadron, like their team of 4 or 5. And so if one person falls in battle, the others is able to... it's like in a business world they call it redundancy, where people know how to learn. And this redundancy is essential. It's not good to be just dependent on one person knowing how to do something.
One person.
Yeah. It's better to have multiple people who know how to do a thing.
That's just one person.
Yeah. That's what Dan Kennedy talks about
Damn.
in his team management stuff. So then, if we were to move forward with this, should we...
You know what?
What's that?
I might like the 1 minute things more than the other ones. Real videos.
Well, let's find out. I think the way that what's his name? Gary Vee talks about it
Gary Vee.
is he suggests doing what is it? He suggests doing get your potato, cut off a 6 minute, and from the 6 minute cut off a 1 minute.
Woo!
And so they're not like two separate things, it's like the next step. Which I thought that was really interesting. Speaking of which, can we watch this video how the sausage is made?
How a sausage. Mmm.
When Gary Vee talks about how the sausage is made, he talks about
Sausage.
the sausage is his content machine.
Sausage. Video. The article you're about to read was made from a video that was made from the making of an article that was originally based off a video. Those are two different videos. Which one? The original one?
The original one's the last one.
Is that the one we want?
No, it's at the bottom of the article.
Oh, that
Right
one?
here. Yeah.
How we make the sausage.
This inspired me in 2018.
This inspired.
Or 19. I want to do this ever since, and I think this is... We're getting to this part.
Ready for some inspiration?
Yes.
I hate complaining. This advice is for the complainer. I'm not accepting.
Is this video on the page that you guys are looking at?
Yes, it's under resources.
Resources. Okay. And the page I can find on session calendar?
Correct. The page is called Traffic
Is that
Content.
right?
It's called Traffic Content Strategic Partners. It's on the session calendar.
All right.
And I'd like you to put your name after we watch this video. If you could put your name, I really want you to view the video if you can. And I'm really glad you came here. Welcome back. Yeah, put your name on whatever things that seem of interest to you.
Okay.
After you watch. Alright, we could watch.
All day you're watching Netflix all night. I gotta be you're doing that, and in fact, that's why you're not making more money than you're doing. If you're happy and content, you've won. But if you're complaining, it means you haven't won yet, and you should stop complaining and do something about it instead. Someone I look up to most in the world. I'm with you, Dad, with my mother. Hands down.
Gotta be happy with it. Gotta be mad.
Hands down, one of the most intriguing things about my mother is her inability to complain.
Can we
Probably
pause
one of
real
the
quick?
traits that she passed down to me. I find it incredibly attractive, and as a college
Can someone take a stab at what's going on right here?
If I had to guess, he's maybe reading a transcript.
Okay. It's a good guess. What else? Who else wants to take a stab at what they're doing in this room?
Or a blog or microblog reviewing the content.
It's definitely a blog.
I think.
What was that, Shanicia?
I was saying I thought it was like maybe they're going up the transcript too.
Okay, so what's going on is they got this team of people, and they're coming together, and basically they're writing an article. This brother, the Asian brother who's reading, he's like a ghostwriter in writing a blog. He's part of the Gary Vee team, and he's like, or in Ellen White's day, she called them copyists. And the copyist would take her content and then repurpose them and put them into, like Desire of Ages was repurposed content from articles she did on the life of Christ. It was able to compile these things together and make new content based on old content. And so basically that's what they're doing together, and he's reading it out loud while Gary Vee is giving minor edits or updates for him to include or expand upon in the article that they're publishing.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And he has in here, there's graphic designers, there's writers, like ghostwriters, copywriters, there are video editors, there's a variety of different people, and then there's a videographer who's probably D-Rock, who's behind the camera, and he's recording this he's recording, like, it's very meta. It's like the Asian guy's making an article based on a video that he published, and now they're making another video right now showing us how the quote-unquote sausage is made, and teaching us how to create content in this capacity. And the article that we found this video on is an article about this video that's being created. So that's what Gary Vee calls content on content of content. There's no limit to what you could create with this type of thing. And Gary Vee has hundreds of thousands of views on his content like this. So does that make sense now in context? Okay, we can play.
Oh yeah, I adore it as well. It's even something I try to instill in my children because I think complaining is over. Personally, I don't complain. If you look at my tweets historically, maybe there's 2 or 3 complaints. You'll never catch me complaining about.
Well, you know what? Put in there, except for New York Jets, which I complain a lot.
You'll never catch me complaining about not seeing my kids enough or not having enough leisure time, because if I had an issue with those things, I would do something about it. There's no shifting into the complaining zone when I.
Or you know what? There's an important point. Or I would recognize that I have the ability to do something about it. That's the part.
There's no shifting into the complaint zone when I encounter an issue I'm not happy with. I'm very put your head down when it comes to problem solving. For me, that's assessing the problem, figuring it out, and then going directly back on the offense. Complaining is defense. To me, the only thing you are that is acceptable to complain about are the things you can't control, like the unfortunate health of yourself or your loved ones, or some other unforeseen tragedy. I want to clarify, just to set the record straight, if you're complaining about anything, then you need to audit yourself. You can't just go watch House of Cards. You can't play ball all day. You can't go to ballet shows. You gotta work to fix it.
I want you to add stuff.
Yep.
You can't sit there and complain, and you can't sit there and ponder what if I had rich parents, I grew up in a better neighborhood, I made that investment, I went to that school.
You gotta work to fix it. There are so many people reading this right now who are complaining. People love to complain because it's easy. Executing to fix those problems, on the other hand, is hard. Look, I understand that many of you have student loans and mortgages and a rough time working 2 jobs while trying to spend time with your family. But are you happy? If you are, then you've won, because you don't actually have anything to complain about. The real problem is that there's so many millions of people who are unhappy and are just sitting around complaining, playing Madden for hours, not actually trying to solve the very things they're complaining about.
And I want to paint a couple more pictures. Yep. Playing Madden for hours, or having their 18th dinner with their other complaining friend and complaining back and forth to each other. Like one big goddamn fucking game of seesaw complaining. Keep the fucking point up.
In today's world, we're so ingrained to expect instant gratification.
By the way, real quick on that, right? Like that is like I can literally think of family members and friends right now who like literally have like that 1 or 2 person in their lives, and like that's their entire friendship. Their entire friendship is predicated on they go out every 6 weeks and they literally ping pong back and forth about how much they hate their sister-in-law and how much they got screwed by their mom. Right? No, it's enabling. No, it's not cathartic. It's enabling. Like it's enabling the bad. Like friends have, people have. Yeah. I mean, listen. Everybody should dump their stress out. I believe in therapy. I believe in a great HR department. I believe in all that stuff. But it's actually enablement. It's like people have friendships predicated on the enablement of negativity.
Yeah, I guess.
Dude, that's how I said it. That is how I set it up.
It is.
Go ahead.
In today's world, we're so ingrained to expect instant gratification that our problems.
By the way, real quick, on the counterpoint to your point, like my mom is absolutely the person that once every 3 years where I have to dump something, that's where I go, and she's me. So it can be that foundation of a great friendship. But I'm telling you, like this is like I'm like observing, like all this traveling has allowed me to not only peep at people's phones, but like fucking, it's unbelievable if you like really get your laziness into somebody's conversation. Like an ungodly amount of percentage is I got screwed. It's like everybody got screwed. Including, by the way, I got screwed. I got into a rich family, and I'm not that hungry, and I don't know what it's like. My parents spoiled me too much, and he's like, literally, you can make up anything for anything.
Yeah, so
Born with
true.
nothing, complain. Born with everything, complain.
Yeah.
Patience is real, and so is hard work. Sometimes that hard work might not even be as frivolous as you think. You need money. We live in a 24/7 world where you can make money in your comfort. Think about it. If there's one thing I want you to learn from reading this, it's that complaining has zero value. Looking at the negative, seeing the glass as half empty, and complaining are some of the biggest wastes of time a human being can engage in. Instead, tackle the problem head on, assess it, see what you can do about it, and then do just that. Woe is me is truly one of the biggest things that can stand in the way of success, both professionally and personally.
Love it. What do we entitle it? A complaint about complaining?
Complaining. Yeah. I don't know. We can do that.
Yeah, I love that. One of the few things one of the few things I complain about. Complaining. Got it?
Yeah.
My Facebook copy of this is if there's truly one move that I've seen that's held back my friends, contemporaries, and family, it's complaining. Please read this article carefully. And then a whole separate thing, and make sure that actually leave it at that. BSU?
BSU, we have complaining is defense, complaining is effective, complaining is easy, executing is hard. If you're happy,
complaining is easy, executing is hard. Is that yours, guys? Congrats. Are we done?
Yeah,
cool. Now, to you guys, this is like we need to title this like content on content on content, the infrastructure of a true strategy. Look, I'm so proud of what has just transpired here. City, as I turn to you guys, I created a couple of pillars. Right, this complaining was, I guess, I don't know, part of a Daily V or an episode of just a bunch of right. So like the thought of having Daily V and the Ask Gary V show that we were about to, and I said, Stefan, put the camera on this. This is literally in motion, the strategy, which is when you have something at the top, and this is something all of you need to think about, especially when you start allocating resources to it, because for 7 or 8 years, I made content about myself. There was not all of these attractive and smart people. It was just me doing my thing. But if you're lucky enough to take the next step, and so many of you have emailed me and said that you want to have your video off, you want to have your video, you've got dollars, you realize taking home an extra $40,000 might not be worth it if you want to make more money long term, you want to start investing. My number one thing is, I don't think that I talk enough about my strategies. I kind of talk about my work ethic, and I don't talk enough about my brain. This is something I brought up like a year or two ago and then been doing anything about it. So here I am. This is strategy. Me understanding that if I need investments, 4 pillars. The Ask Gary V show and Daily V. That then I can empower my team to consume that, see what is the content of the moment, and then create content around it. So what you just saw, you've heard me talk about, this is how we do it, usually on the phone because I'm traveling a bunch, but you just saw, this is how an article's made. All those words, things that I've said, synthesized by the team down with grammar and commas and some leeway. Then you see I listen, I tweak it, I alter it, we come up with copy, we come up with a picture, I'll put on Instagram and links to it, we come up with titles and a Facebook copy. What's even more crazy is that is our normal content on content creation. Look what just happened. I just made a 3rd piece of content. The content of the show and all the content, creating the article, now I'm creating this content. This is meta cubed, not even squared. So what you just saw is my attempt to continue to create new content for you guys. This is kind of a glimpse into our process of how we take what we do in the show and turn it into articles. So many of the big podcasters out there that I've been on the shows of, when I audit their content, right? Pat Flynn was House, Art of Charm, they're not producing enough, in my opinion, articles that they could be doing all day long. All my interviews alone could have been 4 medium pieces. One clip could have been a SoundCloud clip. Another clip of my audio for 3 minutes could have been turned with some visual on top of it. And so I believe that there are clearly 2 to 7, and that's such an arbitrary number, but enormous amounts of content that are coming from the big piece of content that sits on the top, and it's the hacking of the mothership content into micro content. Even if you look at GIF, even though I know people want to call it for some of GIF, if you look at GIF or GIF, however you want to call it, structure, right? Almost all of that content comes from different pieces of media. That was just like chopped, funny, and then a lot of times, look at the success of all our content on Facebook. Our 20 million organic reach, 2 videos that we've had in the last, well, actually one was made for it, a little college trainer, but the other one was a minute 30 for my Shaw interview. Like, there's so much more opportunity, and there's not an accident behind the fact that my Facebook fan page has gone from 500 to 725,000 fans, literally in the last 3 weeks. Let's put that into context. All the years, 5, 6, 7, to get to 500, and the last 3 weeks to grow 50%. It's our understanding of how we do video content, captioned properly, and all stuff like this that has led the way. So I hope you enjoyed a little look behind the curtain. I hope you take a step back and think about, I'm doing this one thing, or how do I create a weekly podcast, a daily video show that can lead to micro content, to other pieces of content, what I would call sawdust. I'm fascinated by sawdust. The byproducts of what you do, right? The byproduct of cutting 2x4s leads to sawdust. Somebody realized one day, let me package that up and sell it. I'm fascinated by that. Figure it out for yourself. Cool. All right? Cool. Good show.
Okay. What stood out to you guys, or what did you think of as a result of what you saw?
It's an opportunity for us to work together, because I know we wanted to do more of that. So like everybody that's in charge of the different pieces of content and where they go, it's an opportunity for us to come together and work on the thing. Even with like the headlines or whatever for the different platforms, like they did all of that in one sitting. That's kind of cool. And how easy it is, and how easy it is to I forgot what I was gonna say.
How easy it is. Well, you were saying that it's an opportunity to work together for headlines for all the different platforms, and they did all that in one sitting.
Yeah, and how easy it is to create content on content, because it's like like you were saying, it's like the the video that we just watched of itself is a video of like a strategy that they use while they're like working and creating different pieces of content. So even that is like recording the sessions that we do or something. That's like a piece of content of itself. So that's kind of cool too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm glad you saw that. Praise the Lord. Who else would like to share what you thought of as a result of what you saw? Katharina, were you able to listen to that too?
It was pretty muffled.
Oh, that's not good.
You mean like actually like watch the video?
Yeah. I was hoping you could see it. I wanted you to watch it.
Oh, I didn't know that's what you wanted me to do. I'm sorry.
Remember when I said before you, before you choose what you want to do, I want you to watch the video?
Yeah. I didn't quite like connect those two dots.
What?
So, well, the thing is, I was like, okay, so then I guess I shouldn't say what I should do now. I didn't know why you said that.
Because we were watching the video right now, and I wanted you to pay attention to the last 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I can watch the video now and just mute myself if you want me to do that.
If you didn't know, I'd rather you listen to the discussion. If you didn't know why I said something, why not just ask me? Rather than allowing us to go through it all in confusion. I don't know if you're confused unless you say something.
I was still in the process of like working some things. I'm sorry. Like doing some things. My sister was needing my attention. I'm kind of babysitting because my mom's like not home.
Okay.
So it makes it a little harder.
Okay, it would be good for you to watch it, but not yet. It would be good for you to listen first, and then if you listen, then you could know what to pay attention to as you watch it.
Sure.
So that sounds great. Thanks for your flexibility. What about you, Connor? What did you think of as a result of what you saw? What else did you think of, Shanicia?
How and wherever that particular content came from, he was like, I don't know if it wasn't clear when he was talking, but as the guy was editing, he was saying, oh, maybe say this or maybe say that instead. So like as he was going, he's like verbalizing things maybe he wants to expand on or say less of.
Yeah.
We did that too. Interesting.
That's exactly right. So in his blog articles, he expounds and expands a little bit, repeats and enlarges certain subjects from the transcript. Yeah, and he does that verbally with the team, and so that was a good observation. What did you think of as a result of what you saw, Denzel?
I'm just thinking that it was just, I don't know his name.
Gary V.
Gary V. And his team of, I just saw 2 people there.
You saw 2 people?
Yeah.
Shanicia, how many people did you see in the room?
Saw 2 people with
It's
laptops.
fine. Well, 6 people in the room.
There's 6 people in the room?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, one out of those 6 people, out of how many people in the room? Just 2 people talking.
And the girl was the one who chose the title for Facebook.
She chose the title for Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the thing that I saw.
it's good to know what you saw.
Yeah, let's go back to what I saw.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
The things that I saw. Main focus, I was just looking at the guy who was on a laptop.
Yeah.
And he was just reading out loud. I thought that he wrote that,
You thought the Asian guy wrote it?
Yeah, or whatever the
Okay.
case may be. He's just reading out loud. And I just see Gary Vee just, you know, just looking, just identifying points where now he's able to just communicate freely off his head and get into the experience where he's able to now just leverage off of what has already been written. Just freedom of expression. So
Okay.
that's what I saw.
That's neat. It's very interesting. Yes.
Do they do that every time?
Pretty much.
Oh.
Yeah. He prioritized a lot of time to doing that.
Oh.
That was really interesting.
What was interesting to you?
Like how they create content together. Everything.
What did you think of as a result of that? Or like what thoughts came to your mind as a result of what you saw, heard, or listened to, or any of it?
We need to take more time as a team. Like to take time to just schedule content, because I think that's one thing that we don't really do as much.
That's what the purpose of the publishing workathon is for, by the way. So that's a good observation. So, what did, Cameron, you want to share something that you thought of?
Anybody messaging? Quick your name, please.
Do you realize now that the thing that he was reading was not what he wrote, but it was actually a transcript of a video that they did, that Gary did?
Oh yeah, now I realize that.
But that was your initial, like...
I knew that whatever he was reading, whether he was reading an article, whether he was reading a transcript, I guess there's certain things that was intent. I guess it depends on what you're looking for when you're watching that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I was looking at other things, but
I wanted us to watch with the concept of ContentFries in our mind. Understanding like just ways that we can remix and how it associates to things that we already know.
Well, Gary Vee, at the end, he did just a quick, brief discussion on like use a 2x4 method, you know, and he talks about dust, powder.
Yeah, what did he mean by the pillar content and the sawdust content?
Pillar content could be the main content.
Yeah, the main shows.
And it's just remind me of just breaking it down.
What would you say is our pillar content?
Our pillar content?
Yeah.
I don't know. What would I say?
And it's okay not to know.
What is our pillar content?
Yeah, what would be our version of our pillar content? Our main shows, or our main pillars that we cut up and create sawdust micro content from.
Oh, pillar, I see what you're saying.
It's a 2x4, it was a pillar content. It's his analogy.
2x4?
I don't think he uses the word 2x4.
Well, in my mind, they're all different. I mean, I know what a pillar is, I know what a 2x4 is. Pillar is something that holds something together, whether it's a building or whatever the case may be. 2x4, it depends on the structure of the building what you're using it for, but I don't know.
I've never actually heard him, like he might have said the word 2x4, but I usually hear him say you have the pillar and you cut that and then sawdust is like the results.
Maybe you cut the pillar into a 2x4, because a 2x4 is just like, is it something like this?
Yeah.
right? But
Mm-hmm.
a pillar, that's something that's like thicker. It's something thicker in the substance for something to hold up. But 2x4 is something more flimsy. So maybe that pillar was broken up into 2x4, and then that 2x4 was kind of, I don't know.
It's interesting.
That's just my understanding based on what I know about the natural thing.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're expressing.
The core pillars would be like the potatoes, and the sawdust would be like the fries.
Correct. And what are our core pillars, or potatoes, Katharina?
Our long form content, so like an hour like video, it could be like live cast, it could be anything like long form that we do, like leadership tables.
No, well, yes and no, but like specifically, what is our designated main shows, our pillar content that was designed that way from the beginning? What are our focus things for creating the sawdust
When you
from?
say content, do you mean?
Leadership tables?
Do you
Yeah,
mean,
that's one.
Like
There's one more.
Our message, our main messages.
Nope, we mean shows.
Shows.
Like, what is a show that we do on a consistent basis that is like the foundation of everything that we create?
Our shows is we do leadership table.
Yes, leadership table is one of them.
Either the challenge or the live cast.
Not the live cast.
It's slightly different, right?
Live cast is on personal development and is not selling framework, so we wouldn't use that as our pillar show. So it would be, daylight videos is when we were doing those more frequently. But you said the challenge. The challenge are selling frameworks. So we will use these two are our main pillar show. And this is weekly and this is monthly. So this is our pillar content. And from there we break it down into like the leadership table. One thing that I think you'd really like, you want to know about content, right? If you would be able to go through two slide decks, they're like slides, like a little picture book from Gary, you will understand an incredible amount of where everything fits in what we're doing and how the content like leads to traffic that we could do clarity calls and that we could sell and lead traffic to the challenge. He's going to break down how through content marketing it generates traffic to the calls. Just those two slides. And they won't take long to go through. Would you be willing to look at those this week?
Sure.
Okay, cool. That'd be great. So with the challenge, like for instance, one of the sawdust micro content or I need to write this thing. Woo! So one of the like what Gary calls the sawdust is what ContentFries calls fries. And that is also called micro content. They're all the same words, mean the same thing. So what that looks like is like the meme video, 3 to 6 minute video, could be a 5-10 minute video for YouTube.
Are you sure the sawdust is a fries?
100% sure. I've been listening to Gary Vee since 2018.
So when he said 2x4, he didn't say, what was he talking about?
I don't remember him saying that, but it would be the pillar. That would be what he means by pillar.
2x4?
We can go listen to that last portion about sawdust.
Yeah, because I know.
Because you see 3 things and I see 2 things. I've been listening to him for a lot of years. There's 2 he talks about, pillar and sawdust. Pillar content and micro content. We can listen to it again.
Just the end part.
Yeah, let's.
You want to listen to it too?
Yeah, go for it.
Then I need to like adapt myself. And I don't know when you guys are done.
Go for it. We're gonna listen to it on times 2.
Okay. The whole thing?
No, just the last portion. What minute are we on? We're on 6:49.
6:49.
Okay, let's go.
structure of a true strategy. Look, I'm so proud of what is just transpired here today as I turn to you guys. I created a couple of pillars, right? This complaining was, I guess, I don't know, part of a daily V or an episode of, just a bunch of, right? So like, the thought of having daily V and the Ask Gary show, we're about filming, we're about to do this, it's fun, but hear about this. This is literally in motion, the strategy, which is when you have something at the top, and this is something all you need to think about, especially when you start allocating resources to it, because for 7 or 8 years, I made content by myself. It was not all of these attractive and smart people. It was just me doing my thing. But if you're lucky enough to get the next step, so many of you emailed me and said that you want to have a video, you want to have a video, you've got dollars, you realize taking home an extra $40,000 might not be worth it, you want to make more money, you want to start investing. My number one thing is, I don't think that I talk enough about my strategies. I kind of talk about my work ethic, and I don't talk about my brain. It's something I brought up like a year or two ago, and so here I am. This is strategy. We understand that if I'm an investor, 4 pillars. The Ask Gary V show and Daily V. That then I can empower my team to consume that, see what is the content of the moment, and then create content around it. So what you just saw, you've heard me talk about. This is how we do it. Usually on the phone, this is traveling lunch, but you just saw this is how articles made. All those words, the things that I said, synthesized by the team down with grammar and commas and some leeway. And you see I listen, I tweak it, I alter it, we come up with a copy, we come up with a picture, I put an Instagram link to it, we come up with titles and Facebook copy. What's even more crazy is that is our normal content on content ratio. Look what just happened. I just made a third piece of content. The content of the show and all content created, now I'm creating this content. This is meta cube, not even squared. So what you just saw is my attempt to continue to create new content for you guys. This is kind of a glimpse into our process of how we take what we do on the show and turn it into articles. So many of the good podcasters out there that I've done the shows of, when I audit their content, right? Flynn was Housing, Artichart, they're not producing enough, in my opinion, articles that they could be doing all day long. All they interviews alone could have been 4 million pieces. One clip could have a sound clip, another clip of my audio for 3 minutes could have turned some visual on top of it. And so I believe there are clearly 2 to 7, and that's such an arbitrary number, but enormous amounts of content that are coming from the big piece of content that sits on the top, and it's the hacking of the mothership content into micro content. Even if you look at GIF, you know, if you want or someone in the GIF, you look at GIF or GIF, however you want to call it, structure, right? Almost all that content comes from bigger pieces of meat that was just like chop, funny, and then a lot of times, look, you can successful more content on Facebook. Our 20 million organic reach, 2 videos that we had last, well, actually one was made for a little content, but the other one was a minute 30 for my shot interview. Like, there's so much more opportunity, and there's not an accident behind the fact that my Facebook fan page is done for 500 to 725,000 fans, literally in the last 1 weeks. Let's put that into context. All the years, 5, 6, 7, they hit 500. And the last 3 weeks, we grow 50%. It's our understanding of how to do video content, captioned properly, and all stuff like this has led the way. So I hope you enjoy a little look behind the curtain. I hope you take a step back and think about, I'm doing this one thing. Or, how do I create a weekly podcast, a daily video show that can lead to micro content, to other pieces of content, what I call sawdust. Fascinated by sawdust. The byproducts of what you do, right? The byproduct of cutting 2x4s leads to sawdust. Somebody realized, let me package it up and sell it. Fascinating. Figure it out.
It's byproduct of the 2x4.
I see what you're saying.
Okay, I see what you was trying to say.
So micro content is a byproduct of your long form show, your long form content. So he has keynotes, he has an Ask Daily V, Ask Gary V, and he has a Daily V. Those are like 3 things that he does. Ask Gary V is just like a question and answer type thing, where the young lady who was there, she'll like go through the comments, or like the team would just collect all these questions that they got throughout the week. And it's like, all right, this person asked this, and he just answer and they record. This person asked this, and they answer and record. So that was the Ask Gary V, and they publish that. Then they have a Daily V, which is a daily live video, or it's not a live video, but it's a daily video.
Like a vlog?
It's a vlog. It is a vlog, not like one. It's his daily vlog of the life of a $350 million CEO. He was one of the first people who ever did that, and like operating at that high level and just doing a daily vlog. And it wasn't until, what's his name? What's the dude's name? D-Rock came that he started doing a daily vlog, and when he did that, his channel just skyrocketed to the millions. So that's what he's doing. So that's his thing. That's his show. He is committed to daily video and the Ask Gary V. It might be weekly. So just, what was that?
Oh, that was just my little sister. Sorry.
Okay, I forgive you. The weekly show, just like find a show and a schedule that you can commit to on the top, and then just hack away that pillar content, the potato, the long form, or the 2x4 is a pillar. I mean, those are what he calls pillar content. He was just giving us an example, yeah. So for us, that's a leadership table and the monthly challenge. So these are the 2 things that we're going to hack away. So from the challenge, we can create a question and answer show because of the group coaching in the beginning. Each one of those could be a piece of content that we're publishing, and the way his mind works and several others is that every piece of content that you publish out there has the opportunity to go viral. And the more that you publish, the more likely opportunities are to just skyrocket. Yeah, it makes sense. So the leadership table, we got 4 teaching points. So each one could be a video, and each of those videos could have like 2 main videos.
Formula in there.
What was that?
Alright, a little bit of tricolor formula in there sometimes.
Yes. Every ATF could be like a 1-minute video, or they could be a meme 3 to 6 minute video. It could be something like that. Exactly. So that all those are sawdust. And if you take a 5-6 minute video and you take the transcription, that would become a blog or a microblog, and that would be micro content. That's a sawdust. That's what a fry is called. And then you could take a quote card. So a quote card. That would be a fry too. So that's the terminology there. And then ContentFries. You see that he has a team, right? And they do all that stuff. ContentFries was created to take Gary Vee, Russell Brunson, and Peng Joon's content creation advice, and they're showing, and then they're like, we're eliminating the need to have Gary Vee has like 70 people on his team doing stuff. He's like, you don't need a team. You can have 1 or 2 or fewer people using artificial intelligence, leveraging a tool, and leverage this program that is designed with their advice in mind. The only the only program on the planet who's designed with their advice, like all the people that you're listening to, I'm going to show you how to implement what they teach you to do without having to have a massive team. And that's why ContentFries exists. Literally, when they called me out, in their headline, they had Gary Vee, Peng Joon, Russell Brunson on their headline when they're like, attention funnel hackers. And then they're like, Vayner Nation, and like calling out the audience of these people. Because they talk about, like, Expert Secrets talks about publishing every day. And then Peng Joon talks about content multiplier formula, which is very similar concept. And then what we just saw here, just a glimpse of the two, like out of all his content, those 2 slides that I want you to look at this week, that will explain his model like better than anything. And so this program is specifically designed to do that. That's why I'm like, let's go all in. It's in development stages, but their vision is solid. It's exactly what we want to do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Well, let me see that. Did you what do you think he meant by empowering his team to consume his pillar content?
Get familiar with it?
I said it sounds like what it is, what it says.
For what purpose? Why would they get familiar with it?
So that they can create their content. So they can create headlines, they can copy. They need some type of inspiration to do the things that's necessary for their goal.
Yeah.
To get it done.
Did Ellen White do that? Did she empower her team to create micro content? Or repurpose content?
I don't know, but it makes sense.
Yeah, she had the Ellen White estate, and she had the archives of all her writings, and she'd hire like 8 copyists who would be working with her to be going through her writings, like the periodicals or the sermons and talks, and they would take those, and then they just kind of like piece them together, remix, and they do what he calls a mashup of just a bunch of snippets coming together, and they create like a new article, or they would create, like, she committed to Review and Herald and Signs of the Times. That's what she did periodically, and that was her pillar content. And then her micro content was like some of these books that she just published, like 100,000 pages that she published. It was with a team that she was able to do that. And also Jeremiah the prophet, he had Baruch, who was a scribe, who would scribe the stuff where Jeremiah would speak and Baruch would just write the stuff down. And that's similar to what the brother was doing when he was typing the stuff up. And then making some corrections. Baruch would do that with Jeremiah. Also, Paul the Apostle had one Emmaus, that he was also a scribe, because Paul was like partially blind. He had that thorn in his flesh. A lot of people believe it was the eyesight when he got blinded, and he wasn't able to see for 3 days. Onesimus, yeah.
Or something.
I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but he often is shown like sign in a way because he helped write. Like, Paul is actually the most prolific Bible author, which is very interesting. The most prolific, profound publishers are the ones who have a team, who leverage and work together, and they accomplish more together than they ever could apart. So Paul wrote more books of the Bible than any other author. But he had helpers who helped to write, and copyists who would be able to write and dictate stuff that he'd say, which is very interesting.
Wow. So that's a concept that has been passed down through the centuries.
Yeah, well, Gary
That's
Vee
cool.
is teaching us for content model. It's not unique to Gary Vee. This has been around for thousands of years. Literally thousands of years. It's the only pattern that has ever worked.
It's pretty cool.
Isn't that neat to recognize those things? Yeah. But what I love is he's taken these ancient permanent principles and he's modernized it in the context of social media so that we can understand and apply very quickly. So that's what we got. And then, did you guys notice how they captioned the micro content for Facebook?
How they captioned?
Yeah. How they captioned the micro content for Facebook?
I remember him saying to read this carefully. I don't know what came before that.
Yeah, that was in the caption.
I can't remember what he said first. Though.
So literally what they did is they actually have like a slightly different caption for each social media. Remember when he said that he grew 50%? Like it took him 7 years to grow 500,000 followers. And then in 2 months, he grew 250,000 followers. He's like, what made the difference? What allowed that massive growth for his Facebook? Organically, they didn't even pay. This is in 2018 when Facebook was still a pay-to-play platform. He's growing massively organically. There's something to that. That stood out to me. But why? What did he say allowed him to grow on Facebook?
Well, if it has anything to do with the captions, then it's probably because it's like it's fitted for that audience, so it catches people's attention. Right? It's like the CTAs. Like if you put link in bio on Facebook, it's like it's not appropriate to that platform.
Yeah.
And so it's like the appropriate caption.
So
Platform.
this is what Gary calls contextualize. Contextualizing the content. Contextualizing the content is that you consider, he said the thing that blew up his Facebook was his understanding of video captioned properly. That's how he worded it. His understanding of video. What we're saying, pillar content and then sawdust micro content or fries. That's what he published on Facebook. He does a lot of meme videos on Facebook because meme is contextual to Facebook. Meme, you know what major video platform meme videos do not work on and they're not designed for? YouTube. It's not in the context of YouTube. When was the last time you saw a major meme video blown up on YouTube?
What are those things called that they have now in the YouTube story parts?
Shorts.
Oh. Okay, never mind.
But there are memes on YouTube.
There are, but they're few and far between. It's not the culture of YouTube. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's like when you post a YouTube video verbatim like that on Facebook, nobody looks at it because all the videos start in silence. So by having a catchy headline, you contextualize it with the captions and the titles. I'll just put headlines. So what he will do often is in the captions he'll say, hello Facebook, or he'll say, hey Instagram, have you considered this? Or like, Snapchat, I really want you to pay attention to this. Like he'll call out the platform he's speaking to.
Captions. What's a caption? I thought
We call it descriptions.
Oh,
how we describe it. Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, they all have descriptions of their videos. He calls it captions. So just know, contextualizing is a phrase from Gary Vee, and it's found in ContentFries. So when you see he talks about context and ContentFries, now you know what he's talking about. It's your message to market match. You have to match your message with the medium that you're speaking to. The social media medium. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, cool. And then I think that's pretty much the only things I wanted to cover. This is kind of the goals.
Goals.
Yeah, these are the goals.
Goals.
Katharina? Katharina.
Yeah.
You can watch the video now if you'd like.
Okay, you guys are done? You can go eat lunch?
No, we're not going to go eat lunch. I think we should open up ContentFries and think around and try to do the parts that we do. And then while we're doing that, you can watch the video.
For 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks. Yes, praise the Lord, I got freedom to dink around.
Where can I like log into ContentFries? Is it just ContentFries.com?
Where do you? Yes.
.com.
And you know the onion. You know where the the passwords are. All the whenever you need to log into stuff, it's all there.
Alrighty, I can.
Maybe this is just an idea. It might be because we're streaming.
Okay. We can turn off the stream. We don't need it anymore.
Okay.
I can watch the whole video, and then.
Yeah. You watch the video and then put your name on the parts that you would be most interested in. And if you have questions about the parts, feel free to, say something.
Barely. Sure.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Alright, I'm gonna deafen you guys.
Okay. So, Carmen, what's the name of the video that you started with?
That I started with, it was something about mentor.
Okay, something about mentor. And you might want to look...
potatoes?
Would that be a potato or a trimmer or...